Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wheels Up Garrett, and today I'm going to be shooting my first episode of a new series, How to Travel, and I'm going to break down different countries for you guys, and based on that, obviously, that I've been to, and I'm going to break it down, give you guys tips, tricks, and stuff on how to travel different countries. Today, you can see by the title of the video, we're going to be covering Italy. Italy is one of my favorite countries in the world, if not my favorite country in the world that I've been to. From the culture to the dancing to the food, everything is absolutely awesome, and I absolutely love Italy. I can't speak highly enough of it. If you haven't been, I recommend going. Also, it's like a first place to go if you haven't traveled outside your own country. I highly recommend going. So I have a little bit, I have some notes on my phone that I'm going to be going off of to kind of keep track of what we're covering throughout the video. So first, I wanted to talk about how to get there, obviously, and the two major airports internationally that you're going to want to fly out of or into, I should say, is Rome or Milan. And that is going to be dependent on where you want to go in the country. Obviously, if you're traveling throughout the country, it doesn't necessarily matter, but Rome, if you don't know, is in the southwestern or middle of the country, arguably, but it's right on the Mediterranean on the western side of the country, while Milan is in the north. So kind of pick which international airport you want to go to based on where you want to start your journey, or if you want to hang in the north most of the time versus the south, etc., etc. Those are going to be the two main international airports. I know obviously there are other airports that you can get in and out of throughout the country, but those are going to be your two biggest. And cities. So I haven't been to the south of Italy too much. I've been to Rome. I've been to Umbria, which is the middle region of the country, and I've been to the north. So I do know about the south though, so I'll cover the south first. The south, there's a lot of culture in the south, more so than you're gonna find in the north. I'm sorry if I'm offending any Italians out there, but the southern Italians seem to be more welcoming and open and warm, and in the north, the people are a bit more reserved and closed off, which is kind of the same in a lot of countries. Obviously in the United States, East Coasters are a bit more closed off and kind of like mind your own business type thing. In the West Coast, people are kind of more happy and warm. So the South has a lot of culture. I know it's known for pizza in certain parts. The Amalfi Coast, which is beautiful, which I'm sure you've seen pictures of. I've never been to the Amalfi Coast, but the South is full of culture. The sea during the summer I know is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of seafood and stuff like that. So that's kind of a good idea, or should give you kind of a good idea on the South. While the middle of the country is similar to the South, I have been to Umbria. And the cities I've been to in Umbria were Terni, T-E-R-N-I, and Assisi. And they're small little villages, or I should say towns, and the culture is incredible. It's comparably to the South, full of culture and life. The food is very unique. They have a specific food there called truffles that are kind of like a delicacy there that are absolutely incredible. The food is awesome. It's very like kind of countryside type vibe, and it's awesome. That's one of my favorite regions in the country. The people are super nice. The villages are beautiful. You see that old Roman architecture, obviously, because that would have been part of Rome, which I understand the whole country would have been, but there's a lot of Roman effect in the south, closer to Rome, than you see in the north. And then finishing the country in the north, I have been in the north. It is beautiful. It actually feels like a completely different country in certain ways. It's snowy. Obviously in the winter. It's snowy, mountains, and the people are a bit more closed off, but still Italians regardless are always super nice and welcoming. The food is just as good, and it does change per region, the food, but overall you're gonna food will not be an issue, I can guarantee. The people are, like I said, are a bit more reserved. They actually speak certain parts of Italy, far in the north, speak German because it's kind of close. And yeah, but overall, I like all the regions. It just is depending on what you're looking for. Lake Como is in the north. I've been to Trento, which is a small village in Milan, as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else I need to cover in the north. Mountainous, skiing, stuff like that. It's beautiful though. It's absolutely beautiful. So next, I want to cover how to get around in the country, right? That can kind of be a big thing for certain people. Because in certain countries, the best way to get from place to place is by air. Sometimes it's by car. It depends, right? So I would say in Italy, the easiest way to get from city to city, in my opinion, is going to, and the best way to experience the whole country, I would say is by train. Treni Italia, Treni Italia. Treni Italia is going to be your best bet. It's a rail system throughout the entire country. You can get anywhere. Very cheap, very great prices. I highly recommend that. I do not recommend flying domestically. It's just a pain. You have to drag your bags around, and it's just a lot of work whenever you can just hop on a train 10 minutes before, get on, off, and you get to see like different parts of the country that you normally wouldn't see if you were in a plane, right? Money. So Italy, they use the euro. I'm not gonna put an exchange rate because of the ever-changing difference between the euro and the US dollar, as well as for your own currency for people outside the United States. I'm just speaking United States wise because that's where I'm from. But yeah, so you can access money through ATMs. There'll be a small service fee, but you don't have to necessarily take out large amounts. But I would, if you plan on spending a lot of money, I would recommend taking out a large amount just because you don't want that recurring service fee. But there's ATMs everywhere. They're not hard to access, and the people are super friendly. They'll help you out. That's gonna be your best bet with money. And some places do take card. It's not one of the countries that you have to really worry about cash. It's just your preference, but ATMs are available. And everyone, okay, I shouldn't say this, but it's not hard. I know some people get kind of like weirded out because the language barrier, no matter where you're from, it's not really a huge problem if you have Google Maps and stuff. And I mean, you can just communicate with people. I've never, I've been to 33 countries, and I could honestly say I've never had a huge problem or dilemma with communication. So that's something to kind of keep out of your head. So this is a big part of the train thing that I just kind of mentioned. Pickpockets. Pickpockets are really bad in the train stations in Italy. It's something that you really got to look out for. I would not recommend keeping a lot of things in your pockets or like opened so that someone can go behind you and take it. The people are really sneaky, and it does happen a lot. It's never happened to me, knock on wood, but it can happen, and I know of stories that it has happened, especially in trains. And then if you're in Rome or Milan, the subway systems there, for sure there will be pickpockets, so be aware of that. And if they know you're a traveler, higher risk, right? So trust me on that. How to get around other than train from city to city? Walking is honestly pretty easy in a lot of these little towns because it's not as big as like some megatropolises. Obviously in Rome and Milan, you're gonna have your subway system, and they do have Uber, so that's a way to get from point to point in the city. But as far as the little villages go, you honestly really can just walk. Yeah, that's gonna be your best bet. So last thing I wanted to cover as far as food. So in my opinion, Italians have the best food in the world. I'll stand behind that wholeheartedly. First, coffee. There are like coffee shops everywhere. Coffee is a huge part of Italian culture, and it is, in my opinion, like I said, the best coffee in the world. I highly recommend getting a cappuccino. Absolutely delicious, and their sweets are incredible. There's bakeries everywhere. Best sweets in the world, hands down. The food is just, there's just something about the food, how it's kind of like an art there, and different parts of the country you'll experience different things with the food, but overall it is so delicious. I cannot speak highly enough of the food. Yeah, and let me see what else I got left on my list here to talk to you guys about. Dancing, obviously there's a lot of clubs and stuff if you're into that type of thing in Milan and Rome. Honestly, any of the cities have a lot of clubs, and a big wine culture, obviously. Their wine is delicious. I'm not a huge alcohol drinker, but I can say their wine is really, really good. And there is a lot of nightlife. Like, it's like a really great culture for nightlife. So if you're into that type of thing, I recommend Italy. And then I think the only last thing that I really would like to talk about with you guys is time frame. See, that's a hard one because I've spent quite a bit of time in Italy. I spent about 3.5 months there, and I have a lot of friends there. But if it was a one-time trip, I would go for about like 17 days, if that's possible. I know some people are on like shorter time, and people are like probably, whoa, that's a long time. It is, but if you want to get the full effect, spend a select amount of time in different parts, move around, don't stay in the same spot. But Rome is a must-see, Milan is a must-see, and then villages in between. I've also been to Florence. I left that out. Super artisan city, beautiful. But yeah, split up your trip. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'll try and get to them. But yeah, guys, this is my first video of this series, How to Travel, and I'm gonna be covering different countries. So I have big plans for the summer 2021. I don't want to reveal anything yet because of the ever ongoing COVID situation, and I haven't traveled in about a year as far as outside of my country, but I'm hoping that can kick back up again, and we can get back to how we used to do on this channel. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys in my next video, and take care wherever you are in the world. Saying goodbye from Phoenix, Arizona. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.